steel man who's going to tell us a story about a company that makes something of steel, which we all use. So we have a Toastmaster, IIT Toastmaster, Aniket Singh, who's going to tell us the Honda story.
If life were a river, then most people just jump into this river without ever deciding where they want to go. And then they quickly get caught up in the current. Current events, current fears, current challenges. And then, when they hit those forks in the rivers, the places where they need to decide whether to go left or right, they don't consciously decide which way to go. They just follow the flow. Their decisions about what to focus on, what things mean, what to do, are unconsciously decided for them by the environment, by the flow. And they remain in this unconscious state till one day the sound of the raging water wakes them up. They realize that they are barely 5 feet away from the Niagara Falls in a boat without oars, and they are about to take a big, deep fall. And this fall can take the form of a financial setback, the failure of a relationship, or a severe health crisis. But very few people realize this, that the problems you face downstream could very well have been avoided by some much better decision making upstream. Only if instead of following the flow, you could have made decisions which were based upon your own values and your own goals. I'm not saying that making decisions based on your own values and goals is going to be easy. The point I'm trying to make is that doing so will lead to a much richer, much fuller, and a much more meaningful life. Let me tell you a story. The story of Honda Corporation. The story of Soichiro Honda. While still in school, at a tender age when most of us were confused, still figuring out the meaning of things all around us, at that tender age, Honda invested all that he had in a little workshop to invent his own concept of a unique piston ring. He wanted to sell it to Toyota Corporation. So he labored day and night, with his elbows deep in grease. He even slept in his workshop. Dirty, damp, dingy, desolate places could not dampen the desperate dexterity of this discerning devil. After years of hard work, he finally came up with the piston ring, finally presented it to Toyota Corporation, only to be told that it did not meet Toyota's standards. Did he quit? No. Honda, this lion of a man, he went back to school, where he heard his teachers and his peers ridicule him because they said that he was a crazy loon to come up with such absurd designs. At that tender age, most of us, if we hear such ridicule from our peers, we would just get isolated on the island of embarrassment. But not Honda. He was as deaf as a post. After 2 years of hard work at school, he finally clinched the contract that he was always dreaming of. But then, a new problem arose. The Japanese government was gearing up for war. The World War II. The beasts of war had sucked up all the resources, and Honda couldn't even find the concrete to build his own factory. Did he quit? No. Unshackling their old beliefs, Honda and his team invented their own unique process of manufacturing concrete, and they built their own factory. During the war, the factory was bombed twice, destroying major portions of the manufacturing facility. And no sooner had the storms of war died that a major earthquake leveled his factory flat. Did he quit there? No. Such a setback, if it had occurred to any of us, would have had made us drown in the oceans of agony, pity, and sorrow. But Honda, he did not quit. Did it mean that his dream has died? Absolutely not. He was as clear as a crystal in his goals and as hard as a rock in his values. He refused to follow the flow. Finally, when the World War ended, in the smoky shadows of the World War II, Honda, with his factory leveled flat, he was forced to start from a clean slate. In the smoky shadows, a tremendous gasoline shortage hit Japan. Honda couldn't even drive his car to work. In dire desperation, Honda attached a small motor to his bicycle. The next thing he knew, all his neighbors were asking him, "Can you prepare one of these motorized bikes for me?" Honda, quick as a flash, he identified the unique potential of motorized bikes, and he decided to set up a manufacturing facility to manufacture them. But he didn't have the capital. Did he quit? Absolutely not. He wrote an inspiring letter to 18,000 bicycle shop owners in Japan. And remember, this was not an age of email and spam. He wrote inspiring letters to 18,000 bicycle shop owners, telling them about his dream to revitalize Japan, his dream to see Japan rise from the ashes of war like a phoenix. 5,000 of those people replied. They provided him the capital that he needed to build his own factory. But still, his motorcycle sold only to the hardcore bicycling enthusiasts. The reason? It was too big, it was too bulky. At that point of time, Honda made one final adjustment. He created a much lighter, a much more scaled down version of his motorcycle, and he called it Super Cub. The Super Cub became an overnight sensation. It sold like hotcakes and generated a heavy demand, not just in Japan, but in Europe and the Americas too. And the rest is history. Today, Honda is one of the biggest manufacturers of automobiles in the world. The story of Honda is not just a story of success. It is a shining example of an individual who refused to follow the flow. He had an unbending loyalty towards his values and a stubborn persistence for his goals. And these were the attributes that made him not just an actor on the stage of life, but a director who was running the show. Love you.
That speech seriously gave me goosebumps. Seriously.